We are live with another exciting episode of the Spitball Media Podcast. This is your weekly look where the three of us just spit out the top entertainment stories of the week and regurgitate it all over your collective faces. My name is John Draper. Joining me with a little bit of a system issue. He's dropping in and out, but he's going to try to power through because he is the Prince of Philadelphia, West Philly. Shaheen, Shah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm currently drooling on my microphone just for Spitball Media. Just my shit is.
Are you ready to regurgitate?
Yeah.
And of course, with us as always is the Prince of the Midwest. The B stands for badassery, Mr. Bish O'Brien. Bish O'Brien, is it freezing in Ohio? Because it is effing freezing upstate New York. My God.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting sick of this weather already. I wish it would stay like 0 or 50 because this back and forth shit is driving me crazy. We had like 50-mile-an-hour winds or 40-mile-an-hour winds today.
We got the advisory going on all through the night. I'm worried about losing like power like crazy. Shah, how is the weather by you in Philly? The winds in the Northeast have been just killing it.
I mean, we got an absolutely horrible snowstorm the other day. It was fucking we got over like a foot. It's terrible.
God. A foot you got?
Yeah, easily. Yeah, dude. It was fucking terrible.
We
But it's luckily most of it is melting down by now, but it's all gonna turn into black ice, so
Oh God. Fun to drive.
yeah.
Show, you didn't get hit with the snow. We got spared. The city got hit, but upstate, like it kind of just passed us a little bit.
Yeah, it snowed for like 5 minutes. We had like some dusting on the ground, and then it was gone. Like there was one day I was at the office. I had a client come in. In the morning, it was sunny. By the time they left, it was snowing. Someone else came in. By the time they left, the rain had washed everything away, and then it was sunny again by midday. It's
wow,
fucking
and that's
crazy,
weird
dude.
for you because you run a brothel, which a lot of people don't know. You run a brothel, a Cambodian whorehouse, I believe, is your job. You're what they call a madam, actually. Is that not
Yeah,
correct?
I know. I try to keep that on the DL, but
Well, I
you know,
didn't need to
it's crazy.
expose it. I just felt like
Well, I brought it up. Fuck me, you know.
I didn't mean to expose your whore master job. But people, we have a ton of weird, wacky, wild stuff we want to get to. We're running the gambit tonight. And let me tell you something. You really want to consider this week to go to patreon.com/Spitball Media because we are just piling on the goodness there, Shah. I mean, we're just adding shit left and right. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're just dropping, little spitballs here and there. You can collect a whole gallon of spit by now.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, B-Show, what is that low price that they get of over 1,000 hours of exclusive content, various shows, solo shows, theme shows, reports of things, not to mention the ever-loving, popular Q&A.
Yeah, $5. We didn't raise our prices like those sellouts Arizona iced tea. I was thinking about that today. That's
Scumbags.
They couldn't hold on. I don't blame them, but we're not doing that. $5 a month. We have thousands of hours now of content, back catalog. If you want to go back and relive the funnier parts of the apocalypse, you can go do that. If you want to hear about some great horror movies that you may never have seen before, you can check that out. We watch plenty of trailers and break shit down. $5 a month. It's really hard to beat.
Yeah, it really is, Shah. And you know what's crazy is that unlike even Arizona iced tea, we're strictly keeping it, the same price for like years, not even remotely changing the price points there.
Yeah. Also, if you scroll back enough, you go through my midlife crisis where I was becoming a man whore for a couple months, which might be happening again soon. So I don't know. Man. It might be worth it for the $5 just for that.
Oh my God, that's how you met Bish O'Brien when he was whore mastering at his day job Bordello. You were both whore masters.
Yeah, basically.
The two, we would call you in the 80s prop masters. Shah, you familiar with that term, prop master?
I'm not. Please enlighten me.
No, it's like when you get so many props, you're like a prop master. Like
oh, okay. I was thinking the prop was the dick or something. I don't.
No. No. It's Bisha. You've never heard that either. Prop master. It's a very old saying.
No, never heard that. Would that be considered interstate commerce if Shah was traveling over here to visit the whorehouse?
Yeah, I think you both can be picked up on sex trafficking yourselves.
Fuck.
I think that's how that would work. Two whore masters. Hey, Bisho, I'm having trouble seeing the other chat. I only see private chat and comments. I'm trying to see who's in that chat room. Enlighten me. I can't see it.
That should be comments.
Well, I can't see who's in there. Who's in there? It just says private chat.
While you find it, Baron Corbin backwards is in there. Joe Punches, Chris Matthews. We got Kevco TV, Marquise
Kevco?
Johns. What's up, man?
I thought I saw Galactic Wrestling Federation.
Galactic Wrestling Federation is there, and yeah, got a bunch of people hanging out.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I can't see. This happens sometimes. I don't really know what the fuck is going on.
There should be icons on the right side where the private chat button is. It says just comments. And if you click that, then
yeah, that's what I click. It's grayed out for me. Okay, I just put cock and balls in there. Oh, Galactic Wrestling Federation. Oh, Marquise Johns is in there. Everybody's in there. All right. Well, listen, guys, we got a ton of shit we want to get to. We want to thank everybody for hanging out in the chat, and also Patreon. $5 a month gets you over 1,000 hours. You want to consider going. We're going to be doing some fun shit in there tonight. Now, B-Show Brian, I don't want to put you on the spot, but have you recorded that that update to your you've been following this Vince story pretty closely in the WWE. You did a lot of research on it. Where are you now in this story?
I had a lot going on this week and last weekend, so I didn't get to it, but I plan on doing it now between tonight, if we, depending on what time we finish up tonight, and probably Saturday sometime. So
oh wow,
look
so
out
they'll
for
be
that.
getting it this weekend. Jesus, so
yeah, I was hoping for something else big to hit because I know some little things came out, but I think there's enough there to really do something good. So
yeah, you know, for people that don't know, B-Show Brian did a deep dive on the Patreon previously, talking about the Vince McMahon trial. And you know, following it pretty closely, and really going to some resources there that a lot of people in wrestling do not go to. So he's going to do a follow up on that. It was very well received. It was excellent Cub reporting there. B-Show loved it.
Thank you. I got sick of hearing everyone was repeating the same things from the headlines that were coming out from like the Wall Street Journal, and loosely referencing the 67-page document. And it's like, right, there's got to be more there. It can't just be the surface level stuff. And yeah, there was a lot more. So you're welcome.
The Ashley Bizarro stuff is resurfacing. B-Show overseas. I'm sure that's going to be part of your story there for sure.
Yes, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk about and kind of go through some of the other allegations that people don't talk about with Vince that he's been kind of popped for in the past, but got swept under the rug. So
yeah, it's weird. You know, Shah, somebody pointed this out today. This is the first WrestleMania without Vince.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he's been around since the first one. I keep forgetting it's in Philly, man.
Jesus Christ, Shah, it's in your own fucking backyard, man.
I keep forgetting. I have no idea.
Wow. Yeah, and B-Show Brian, by the way, Chris Matthews, yes, we saw some prices. Arizona teas went to $2.50. Shah has still not recovered from this news. And Galactic Wrestling Federation is calling you B-Show Bundle. Oh, they call it the B-Show Bundle. I like that for their news reporting.
Wow.
And, of course, Chris Matthews is saying B-Show legit did some great work covering some really gross stuff. Yeah, and you're only going to see it where, B-Show? Where's the only place they're going to find all this?
On the Patreon, and I want to say something, too, is I didn't want to put it behind a paywall and say, oh, you can only hear about it for this. But at the same time, there's details coming out about the girl who's making the complaint. And I'm going to talk about someone leaked some other pictures of her and like tracked some of her social media down. So I'm not big on putting all that stuff out there in the public, but I feel comfortable talking about it with you guys. So that's one reason that I'm not doing this on the free, because I want to be one less person contributing to the public scrutiny of this person making a really a complaint in a very tough period. So
yeah, for sure. But B-Show, excellent work, and only to be found over at spitballmedia.com. Patreon.com/spitballmedia for $5. So you're going to want to be checking that. And thank you to the many people who have been keeping the lights on in this place. But we're going to talk a little Super Bowl because it's a huge story coming out of the Super Bowl. Now, obviously, there was a massive shooting that took place yesterday. I'm not laughing about that, but I didn't want to mislead people, think that's what we were going to talk about. But we were going to talk about the ratings because they were – Shah, these were ratings like unprecedented. There was some speculation that people weren't going to watch because of who was in it or because of Taylor Swift, and more people watched it. No, not this many people have watched something, I believe, since the moon landing in 1969, Shah.
That's insanity. And you know they're going to give it to Taylor Swift because, I mean, honestly, she probably is the reason, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you know what? She definitely brought some people, I think, Shah. I don't think you're wrong at all. B-Show, Brian, what are we looking at here? Oh, I'm sorry, Shah, what were you going to say?
Well, because it's the 49ers and the Chiefs. I don't know much about football, but I don't think that's like a dream match or anything that would force people to come in and watch. So it has to be Taylor Swift, really. I mean,
yeah, it could be. Or it could have been Usher. Maybe Usher drew some people.
Come on.
I'm just saying. I'm making a joke. B-Show, what were they looking at here for the ratings? Because this was not what they expected.
According to ESPN.com, Super Bowl LV3 sets TV ratings record with 123.7 million viewers. Holy shit.
Oh my God. That's a lot of people, Shah. I mean, like, how do you even, what the hell is that?
Dude, you imagine that's like 35-40% of America, right?
Well, it's
So
the
like,
Globe. The Globe watches it. People watch it all over the world.
well, it's America.
Mostly, yeah, it's a mostly American
no one's
audience.
watching this from fucking Ireland and Germany, dude.
Some people are.
I don't know. Anywhere else I lived in Europe, I didn't even know American football was a thing. No one
Well,
cared.
football now goes overseas. It goes to the UK. It got very popular in England. They have games there. They'll have baseball. The Mets are playing the fucking Phillies in London, Shah, this summer. I mean,
But I can almost guarantee you 100 of that is from the US. Like, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So I mean, almost like a third of the United States was watching this, and then you imagine how many people were watching it together. Damn near the whole country had to watch it like that, you know, because some people have events, people go to bars. I mean,
oh yeah, and B Show. This was an interesting season series because CBS had the game. They aired it on Nickelodeon with Nickelodeon characters doing commentary. It was also on Unovision and Paramount Plus, as well as the NFL digital platform. So there was really anybody could have watched this fucking thing, really.
Yeah, and it says Nielsen also said 202 million people watched at least part of the game across all networks. 200 million people.
Oh my God! Wow, Shah, that's like they said it's up 10% from the previous year. Could that be Taylor? Could that? I mean, I don't.
Has to be.
That's some powerful shit. You know, a lot of people were fronting like they weren't going to watch it because of her, and then it sets a record number. And I feel like Taylor Swift is constantly in the media. You know, you even have people in the wrestling world who are trying to compare, like Meltzer comparing her to The Rock for some god. I don't know what the fuck Meltzer's on. Maybe all the years of lifting things and picking them up and putting them down and not cleaning his room have got to him, B-Show. But like, I mean, you can say what you want about Taylor Swift, but she is a unique celebrity. I mean, her power is like, it's that of like a third world dictator.
It's hard to quantify, but like thinking back, the only thing I can remember being that popular when I was a kid was Michael Jackson. And it's hard to compare the two, but like she's every fucking where, man.
This transcends it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a bug on my ass about Taylor Swift. Galactic Wrestling Federation is asking, do you believe football is legit? Yeah, I don't think football's fake. I don't watch it really that much. Kevco wants to know if Super Bowl's ever going to be in London. Maybe. I could see that. I was tempted to watch it on Nickelodeon. I watched it on network there. And then Blake Lively was looking pretty fly there. And you had Little Orphan Annie Ice Spice in there. You know, I don't know. I mean, look, I watched it. It didn't really blow me away. Let me ask you guys a question. I felt like in the last few years, the Super Bowl commercials have not been that effective like they used to be. The one that really stands out, we'll get to the other one in a minute, is the Dunkin' Donuts Ben Affleck commercial with Jennifer Lopez, Tom Brady, Matt Damon. There might be some other people tied to this commercial. Shah, did you see that, the Ben Affleck rapping commercial?
No, I didn't see that one. I saw the Uber one, though, that they had to take down.
What's the Uber one they had to take down?
They weren't sensitive towards peanut allergies because they made a joke about it and people got pissed.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
What?
Yeah, they took it down immediately.
The Affleck one was funny. It was okay. B-Show, did you see the Affleck Dunkin'? They're actually making a flavor for Affleck. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't really absorb it. So when my son was awake during the game, we were playing Breath of the Wild on his Nintendo Switch. So I was watching the game and not really listening.
Oh, so I was just I was holding out for the Deadpool trailer and the Twisters. Shah, did you see the Twisters trailer?
I did. It looked pretty good. I haven't even
pretty good.
I haven't even seen the original though, to be honest with you. So.
Oh, the original Twister?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you've seen it.
No, I don't. I may have. I don't think there's so many like apocalyptic movies that I've seen. I always get them mixed up.
Very old. Yeah, I remember the Universal Studios Twister ride. It's fun, but it's not exactly going to light your world on fire. B-Show, what did you think of the Twisters commercial?
I don't know. I think a lot of these remake trailers look kind of similar. It's, hey, we're going to show someone from the old movie or a scene from the old one or something that looks the same. And it looks fine. It's going to be okay. I remember digging the first one when it came out. Helen Hunt has aged like fucking cheese, though.
She's in the trailer? I didn't even know she was in the trailer.
I thought she was.
I don't know that she is. Like she looks like she's been Botoxed into a different universe.
Yeah.
Twisters. This seems like it was all new. It's like a whole new cast. Maybe like the child of theirs. I don't know what the fuck it is. She's in Twisters. Twisters.
Maybe I saw something online
Yeah,
after it, but
maybe you
I
saw
thought she was
some
in-
dude and thought it was Helen Hunt. Because I don't. Wow, that's her. Yeah, that is her. Look at her face. Shot.
It's a fan-made trailer, but
Oh,
still,
it's a fan made. That's her from that indie horror movie about the frogging, the people hiding in your house. That was pretty good. But look at Helen Hunt, man. She used to be very cute.
Yeah.
She was like cute next door. You know, she was like a cute teacher you would have.
Yeah, she looked really good in what was the spacey movie? Pay It Forward.
That's a long time ago. That was
When
with
she
Jack
played the
Nicholson.
cocktail
That was
waitress and
James
shit?
L. Brooke. Yeah, she won an Academy Award for that. Nicholson won. It's a brilliant movie. They shot it in my old neighborhood in Brooklyn. Shah, you see Helen Hunt there? She looks a little scary.
Yeah, she looks dead. She looks like something from like Insidious.
He made a cool horror movie. I can't remember the name of it, but one thing I do want to talk about is it kind of I think stole the commercials in a lot of ways. Not the Jesus commercials; those were fun, I guess. But this was the Wolverine Deadpool trailer. Could we just see how many times? Now it's broke a record. It quickly went within a certain period of time to 365 million views. On YouTube.
Wow.
Let's see where it is now. In 24 hours. I wonder where it is now. Shah, what do you think of that 365 million in less than 24 hours?
That's a scary number, dude. That's fucking way more than anything else is making. I like Deadpool too. I've never seen Wolverine, but I mean I watched the first two Deadpools.
You should watch Logan. Deadpool's a fun movie. They're R-rated, they're hard R's. By the way, pegging joke B-show in the trailer with Disney in the trailer.
I didn't catch that. I just
Did you know
like
that
I said,
Shah?
I watched it.
He makes a pegging joke with Disney in there.
Oh my god. I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
So he gets. We can't show we're not going to show the trailer here, but he gets confronted by these time people who have these like nightsticks in his hallway, and he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And he goes, "Listen," and he says something along the effect of, "I'm pegging isn't something new to me, but it is something new to Disney." And he looks in the camera. This is the commercial, and then halfway through the trailer, where they're explaining to him that he has to go back in time, he's like, "I'm Marvel Jesus," which he kind of is. I mean, listen. This is going to be a hard R. Yeah, it says it right there. The joke about pegging. I mean, Shah, forget about the Disney restrictions with this. This is going to be, they said this is a gore fest, totally sexually jokes, crazy R-rated movie to wrap up that series there.
I mean, if there's a chance that I'd watch a comic book movie, it'd probably be this.
You would like Logan. Logan is insane.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
Oh, it's brutal. It's depressing. It's awfully depressing. Bisho, did you like Logan?
I loved Logan. I cried like a fucking baby.
Yeah,
watching
I
Logan,
cried.
man.
Me and a bunch of dudes were walking out, not making eye contact because we were all tearing up walking out to the Johnny Cash. Shot. It's like a modern day Western, total hard R, super violent, depressing movie. Like Logan's a goddamn limo driver. Like everyone's dead. It's just awful, depressing.
Is that the last Wolverine movie they've made?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He was supposed to be done forever, but you know, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds probably got paid big bucks here. I'm sure Hugh Jackman got paid more than he ever got paid in his life. And it is a time they now have the multiverse and the ability to go back in time, so they're going to use that aspect. I am very excited for this. I think the hype on this is totally justified. Bisho, you're a fan of the Deadpool movies as well?
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out. I mean, you mentioned the pegging jokes, but was Deadpool a part of Disney when the first Deadpool came out, or was that before the purchase?
No. He wasn't even Marvel didn't even have it. Was loosely affiliated there.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because in the first movie he does get fucking railed by his girlfriend, pretty like up close and personal. So I was like, okay, Disney shouldn't be surprised, but I forgot this was before the purchase. So
Yeah. And Shah, they don't even show you Wolverine. This is all you got was that silhouette. And then they actually changed the title of the movie from Deadpool 3 to Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's supposed to be like a million surprises, cameos. Now, there is a rumor, Shah and B-Show. I don't know if this is true, so we're just going to, for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans, that there is a rumor that one of the multiverse versions of Wolverine is, in fact, Danny DeVito. He is a version. No, I'm not making any of this up. I'm not making any of this
Amazing.
up. And because that was a joke that Danny DeVito should be Wolverine, and people made memes. Shah, what do you think if you Danny DeVito shows up?
Dude, I'd be fucking. I'm sold on that idea, man. I'll be there for that. I didn't realize it was replacing Deadpool 3.
Yeah, because I mean Wolverine is a huge property. I mean they're equal.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
They're equal properties. By the way, if you see Hugh Jackman is in the yellow costume, they've never put there it is, Shah. These are all the look. See, people. So supposedly they put this in the movie. This is going to be in the movie. If it isn't,
wasn't Wolverine like 4 feet tall in the comics or something like that? Like a really short
Wolverine's only
jack
supposed to be
dude?
about 5'3". He's only supposed to be about 5'3" in the books. He's a furry little Canadian. Joe Punches says, God bless Ryan Reynolds. Kevco TV looks like fun. Galactic Wrestling Federation, Logan was terrific. Yeah, Shah, you would just be, it's not a comic book movie, not even close to a comic book movie. Some are saying this is going to be loosely based on the TVA, Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel universe. Yes, there is a rumor there that that's what it is. It's all Fox, Shah. Fox had the property rights to Deadpool, just like the X-Men characters. So we don't know if we're getting Gambit. They're a little hush on this, but this is going to be a big deal. Bisho, do we know when this comes out? It's a summer movie for sure, right? You can't put this out any other time.
No, that's got to be a summer blockbuster.
This has got to be a summer block. What, July 26th, guys. So something tells me I'm predicting a big box office weekend, Shah. What do you think there? Oh, we may lost Shah. Shit. Okay. Remember, he was having some problems.
Sorry.
Oh, Shah, you there?
Yeah, I was having some issues.
Okay, sorry.
What did you ask? I'm sorry.
What do you think that box office weekend is going to be like for this motherfucker? Jesus Christ.
Fucking almost 100 million.
Yeah. This. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think this has the capability? I'm not saying it's going to do Barbie, but as far as comic book stuff, we've seen a few close to the billions. Do you think this is going to be the bar now? I mean, what do you think so, B? I think so because nobody hates Deadpool. Nobody hates Wolverine. Like, there's none of this stink. None of the stank is on these properties like that.
Well, if you think about, like, I hate to say comic book nerds, but like one of the things people didn't like about the X-Men trilogy from like 2000 was that Hugh Jackman never got into the yellow
Costume.
and blue suit, right?
Yellow and black, yeah.
You're going to get that now.
Yeah. With the mask, by the way. They already leaked the mask.
Yes. And Hugh Jackman is seen as God tier as far as these movies are concerned, and people wanted him back. And now he's coming back. And Deadpool is a beloved franchise. So it's something different at a time when Marvel is looking for something different. It's a new flavor. It's a good crossover without getting overly complicated with this giant multiverse and time travel shit. It's like, let's fucking go, man. As the kids say these days, this is going to be.
I'm ready to go.
If it's not big, it'll be good.
Well, Joe Punches is saying they're already saying it's going to break $1 billion. So this might be. I mean, I guarantee you the pre-ticket sales. Good luck trying to see that opening weekend if you're not like me and going to go to the movies at like 10 in the morning. And it's going to be R. There's no unquestionable. It's R. I'm excited. And this is actually really interesting because what we're going to talk about next is the polar opposite in every way in comic book lore. Shah is not surprised about this. He's been waiting for this for many years. Madam Web, which is a small property out of the Spider-Man world with some spin-off female characters, some very popular, some not so popular, is in theaters this weekend. It got released earlier this week to some of the worst reviews. Forget comic books. Forget of all time. I mean, it debuted with a 15% in Rotten Tomatoes. It is now at 14%. I can't even believe this is real. 14% with an audience score of 57%. This is a very expensive film. I want to say this is somewhere well above 120 million, maybe close to 140, 150. They spared no expense here. But Shah, this is supposed to be one of the worst pieces of shit of all. 80 million. Okay, so let's say with the marketing, we're about 150. Shah, it's supposed to be a human toilet bowl of a movie. Unredeemable, terrible, like laughable, bad plot, bad acting, one of the worst horror movie villains of all time, and no Spider-Man. Shah, is this what you've been waiting for?
You know who won't be watching this? I
America?
can guarantee you that, dude. I already know you're gonna ask me. Have you seen this yet? Nope. Don't plan on it.
It looks so bad.
Yeah, dude. This is gonna be a fucking.
It looks. Some people said the director should never be even allowed near a movie set ever again with how terrible this is. Like, it's supposed to be terrible. What has this woman done other than get a pretentious pair of glasses? Toast? Like, I've never heard of any of this. Is she American?
Toast and Mistresses, yeah.
Mistresses. Okay, kind of something I know a lot about, but is she not American? She has a non-American look there.
It says
Where's
British
she from?
television and film director.
British. Okay, yeah. She looks like a pretentious British person. Which I love my Brits. We all know this. Manchester forever. B-Show. Why? Like, there's just so much to take from this. Why are they doing this? When will they stop? What will it take?
I think it takes the stuff that Bob Iger said last week, that they just have to clean the slate and focus on streamlining their properties to more popular stuff. I mean, if you look at the wide chasm between the public fawning over what happened with Deadpool and Wolverine, and this fucking abomination piece of shit, like how do you not have Spider-Man and Madam Web? First of all,
I don't, because these are not comic book people.
And that's the big problem. And that's one thing that, like, we're all wrestling fans, right? And that's one thing that I think Vince Russo does get a lot of flack for, is he wasn't a wrestling person. They say you can't be involved with wrestling because you're not a wrestling person. I think he brought fresh ideas, but he also didn't know the business through, coming out of his pores organically through osmosis.
Yeah.
And when it came down to it, it showed in his work. So when you look at stuff like this, where they just go, "Oh, you did a documentary about the Congo? Yeah, why don't you come and do Kraven the Hunter?" Like, why?
Exactly. That's funny.
It's like the two have nothing to do with each other, and it doesn't matter. And we're gonna take these characters in different directions, and it's like, no, just do what people want. Just do what people like. Play with them, but do what people want to see, man.
Shah, do you think this is the only film genre where you could have no experience in the genre and be given $100 million+ in a franchise?
I mean, based on history, yeah. I can't name any other genre you can do that, really.
I mean, honestly, like, if you made like a small market, like $200 million horror film, right? Do you think they would give you the Mission Impossible franchise?
Yeah.
Well, Shah, do you think this? I mean, we are very well versed in horror more than this, but we have seen horror people get elevated, but not in this extreme way, right? I mean, like, we've seen horror people get elevated.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Raimi, right? He did the Spider-Man movies.
Well, yeah, he went from like Evil Dead to Darkman and The Simple Plan, and but it's a progression, right? I mean, like,
he had the portfolio to show for it. It's not like he just overnight became that person. But no, I agree.
Yeah, like, I don't know who directs these Fast and the Furious movies, B-Show, but I'm fairly certain it's not a guy who made an alt movie about, relationships in Thailand middle school. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you think it's because these are all tied to Disney, and Disney is very much in the vein, and I don't want to sound like fucking, what's it called, nerd-erotic, as much as I like their videos, they're getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they're going to come after me tonight, by the way, but
probably.
We'll talk about this offline. Yeah, they are.
But do you think it's because Disney is very, very committed to activism that you see so much of this, where they'll pull a documentary filmmaker to make a Star Wars movie instead of someone who's, because like you said, Sam Raimi he made low budget movies that made a shitload of money. They were critically acclaimed. Then he did Darkman, which it wasn't a runaway success.
They gave him a lot of money for that. Was a massive uptick for him. It was a franchise they gave him.
So it's not like, there's a difference between taking an unknown and giving them $100 million budget, or taking Robert Rodriguez in 1995 and giving him Spy Kids. I mean, Robert Rodriguez had a track record like Sam Raimi. This is completely different.
Completely.
So, I don't know.
Completely different. And, it's kind of unforgivable. Shout out to Zane Vicious in there. There's people in there saying, like, Galactic Wrestling Federation is saying, I think Disney's spending the money to justify future budgets. Yes. Joe Punch is saying Sony doesn't want to lose their rights. That's the gist of the shit, and I hate it. Yeah, I mean, it's a hodgepodge, but Shah, the head of Disney last week just came out and said they're not doing this shit anymore. So maybe this is a palate cleansing thing, and they'll go back to making 2 or 3 big properties a year that actually make money without worrying about ESG scores, right? I mean, that they have to stop at a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch any of the Disney stuff, but I follow a lot of YouTubers that talk about it, and I think that the most common thing in all of the reviews is that they're tired of all the Disney series revolving around Marvel, because it's overwhelming and everything has to be connected. So you need to watch this one to really appreciate this movie. So, with everybody's schedules being tight and everybody having to work like 14 fucking jobs and working 63 hours a week just to make ends meet, who has time to watch 17 episodes of each of these series just so you can go to the IMAX and understand Spider-Man? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a little bit much.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know that I'm doing this. I haven't checked the movies for this weekend. I might go see it just to talk about it. I might go see it just to talk about it because I want to see how bad. I heard this is like walkout bad. So I would like to see it for myself. Somebody said it makes Morbius look like Scorsese. Which I still haven't watched because I like the character, but that actor, it makes me very uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, something about that Jordan Catalano guy from what the fuck's his real name? I never remember his name.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, the guy who played the Joker, who before what's his face got the role. The guy was the cult shot. Who's the guy with the cult? The actor. I never remember his name. He's got the 30 seconds.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. He's a great actor. I'm just saying he's a fucking weird guy. I don't know if I could watch him be in a comic book movie being weird for 2 hours. I heard it's not terrible, but I'm not interested. I like Morbius. I'm a fan of the Midnight Suns and that's some of my favorite 90s comic books with Ghost Rider. But I might go see it. I probably won't. There's other things I'd probably rather do, like get a colonoscopy, take an AIDS test on the fly, that kind of thing. But before we leave that, I do want to point out Marvel and DC many years ago, unlike now, they're basically like, Palestine and Israel these days, Marvel and DC. But back in the day, guys, they would work together because it made them money. They would do crossover books. And they had several crossover books. Now, I have to be honest with you, they don't probably look as good these days, but it is fucking awesome that they did this. This is the dream, right? People want to see this in the movies. People want to see this in comics. I could tell you now, it's probably never going to happen in print again. They are re-releasing all of the previous books that they did together for the first time in a very, very long time. For people that have never seen these books, they're very fun. Conceptually, they're very cool. So all of their crossovers are going to be re-released, including the Amalgamation Universe. This is where, guys, they took the principal characters from both companies and made them into one character, and they both released it. Shah, have you ever even heard of this? It's actually it's a cool thing to check out.
No, I don't think I've seen this one.
Yeah, so there's a 2000 Batman Daredevil, pretty good. The original OG from 1976, Superman versus Spider-Man. And then, of course, we have the Amalgamation comics. And then there's a Justice League Avengers. There's a Teen Titans X-Men, which is just off the charts good. Bisha, do you have any of these?
No, I don't remember reading them. I might have had one because I think in the 90s there was a couple sets that came with, I think the Death of Superman, there was 4 comics that came with different toys, like with Steel and the Young Superman. And I think they did something similar with this. So I might have had a couple crossover toys, but I don't think
the Amalgamation line.
Those I didn't see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they put like Batman with Cap. It's a long time ago, guys, so you have to forgive me. But I'm excited for this. I think it's for people that have never seen it, it's pretty cool. It's not, I don't know how it holds up now, but the conceptually speaking, this is what people really want to see. Like, I mean, this is the dream for people movie-wise. The Amalgamation Universe there, it's pretty cool. Look at that. That's Superman and Cap there. That's kind of cool. They do, I think, Batman and Wolverine, maybe. It's Batman.
Basically, I've seen these.
Yeah, Amalgamation. It's pretty cool. Wonder Woman, I forget who they merged her with. I just don't remember. It's a long time. That's if you click on that box, that's the Amalgamation Universe. And they all have different names, different Storm, I think, with Wonder Woman. Yeah, it'd be fun. It's a nice thing to check out. And of course, they also Joe Punch's Midnight Suns. This is a book you guys would like. It's basically like the darker characters, like Ghost Rider, Punisher, Doctor Voodoo, all like coming together. There's different versions of Midnight Suns, but they're basically brutal, like Midnight Suns Marvel. Badass books. This is the newer version of the Midnight Suns there. You have Morbius, Johnny Blaze. Look at that. Fucking Ghost Rider, Blade, Hannibal King. Cool shit, but they're going to do probably a different version of this. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, we thought we'd give you some of the comic nerd shit, but because it's also interesting stuff, especially this box office this weekend, we're predicting is going to be abysmal for Madam Web. But we'll see. I might check it out. Also in movie news, Paramount Studios, we've been talking about how they've been up for sale. There's been talks that they'd be purchased by Warner Brothers. Not sure where those talks are, but they very quietly, guys, laid off about 800 people. That's a massive layoff for a studio, hemorrhaging money. I feel like it's quite sad. I don't feel like there's a lot of public empathy for people who work in the entertainment industry. And I'm not talking about actors and directors and producers. We're talking about people, whether it's writers during the writer's strike. Some of them said they made Shah like $600 writing a TV show that made like millions of dollars. But a lot of these people laid off were lower level people, office people. Shah, why do you think that is? Like when like a wrestler gets cut, people pretend they're going to slit their wrist in protest. But when 800 people mostly making average salaries lose their jobs and health benefits, nobody cares.
Well, the wrestlers on camera, they have fans. These are just unknown people that nobody gives a shit about, right? I mean, I'm sure they contribute to the product that they watch at the end of the day, but we can't put faces to these. So when you don't have the faces, you don't have any empathy. You can't sympathize with that.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It is very odd to me when someone in NXT gets cut. There's people practically crying on Twitter, but I guarantee you a lot of these 800 people, I would guess have families, student loans, car payments, mortgages, maybe roommates not making a ton of dough, now have nothing. And people are like, smell you later.
That's the one thing I'm thinking of is you probably got guys and gals that are like sharing a loft apartment in Los Angeles with 10 other people, and now they can't pay the rent or their share of the utilities or the food. Like, I think there's a disconnect partly because people think of Hollywood as like a lifestyle thing. It's a choice. It's not a trade necessarily, although there are a lot of tradespeople in Hollywood that would be affected. And I think if more people thought of that, like they think of a Midwest factory or someone from Ford or from GM getting laid off, I think that would be different if they put that together. But everyone thinks movie stars and, oh, Jesus Christ, those people are pampered and they're assholes and they make so much money they could use it. There's other people that are really hurting. It's not always the case, man, because the people with money are going to be okay. The people who don't have it aren't. And it's the same story whether you're in on the coast or whether you're in the Midwest. So it's really sad to see.
Yeah, no, it is. And Shah, also, do you think it has a lot to do with this overall Hollywood backlash that's kind of been brewing up because of, increasing, whether it's movie prices, streaming prices, hearing about bloated salaries, hearing about CEOs like the head of Paramount who probably got a $200 million bonus and he laid off 800 working people. Whereas Drew Yari points out, shout out to the Arsifer, who saw Madam Web and said he gave it an F. Drew Yari said he would have walked out of that movie on an airplane if it was showing on an airplane. He said the CEO of Nintendo cut his own pay so he didn't have to do layoffs. And yet Paramount's just told 800 people, thanks for all your contributions. Peace out. There's a box under your desk.
Well, I think Hollywood gets a lot of hate nowadays. Even if you look at the conspiracy theories, there's so many conspiracy theories about cults in Hollywood and sacrifices and pedophilia and all this stuff.
Epstein's Island.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was going to get into next. And I think that really just kind of, drove the point in. That was like the nail in the coffin, the last nail in the coffin for Hollywood, because people just don't give a shit about Hollywood employees anymore or anybody associated with Hollywood, really, because they look at them as like these demonized people that sold their soul to the devil to make it to the hills, So Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with it. You know, these aren't AT&T employees; they're Hollywood employees that people more than likely are probably jealous of. Honestly, a lot of us are probably jealous of being in their
Of course
spot.
we are. I mean, you don't.
So
Yeah,
it's
would
hard
we
to feel
rather work
bad
on
for
movies
people that are
or work
doing
real
better
jobs?
than you. You know.
Yeah, but I just think the lack of empathy, guys, is really weird. You know, like I don't know. People tend to attach themselves, be show to like, wars thousands of miles away, and people who they actually have nothing in common with, that they're willing to. Their public persona is going to be based on showing empathy, and yet these are just like work. Predominantly, I guarantee you, the majority of these people were not well paid necessarily for their work, and there's zero. Like no one cares.
And it's funny, Joe Punches brings up Godzilla -1 in the chat, but people were talking, and we were talking about how great it was that Godzilla -1 was done for a smaller budget and made a shitload of money. And when I saw people on Twitter or X coming out against that, saying, "Oh, well, it's because it's Japan and their people probably work long hours," well, I'm pretty sure Nintendo is based out of Japan.
Pretty sure.
And if they're treating their employees better than our people treat ours, shut the fuck up. Second. Joe Punches is saying that the creator of Godzilla -1 gave employees weekends off, paid overtime, and competed. I'm sorry,
Comped pay for work.
Pay for work.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's interesting. You want to fucking motherfuck Japan for being this quasi. It's not even communist, but people pretend it's this communist state.
It's not communist.
And then they're treating their staff and their people better than our companies do. So suck a toad, man.
Yeah, it's wild. It's funny. This Godzilla -1 comes to mind, because it was that $15 million budget, and Drew Yari points out they had only 37 VFX artists shot. And if you go see, like, say, Guardians 3, which obviously is a fucking $200 million movie that made almost $1 billion, when you sit through the credits to get to the end scene, the VFX thing is like this, and there's hundreds and hundreds of names on there. So that's also a lesson you could learn here too, don't you think? Maybe people that, are doing this more as a labor of love, which is clearly what Godzilla was. I know you haven't seen it, but just from the hype and the talk and the love, that makes more of a real personal connection. Like, I feel like people are so attached to that because they know nobody really got rich off of doing it.
Yes, either that or they got like a Japanese workshop pretty much with them just, working 24 hours a day.
Which is look, we don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem that way. By the way, I don't know if we covered this last week. Did we talk about the Spielberg Godzilla stuff last week, B?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, just to get this out of the way. So Spielberg is a super fan, guys, of Godzilla -1, and he saw the movie 3 times. And when he met with the director a couple weeks ago, and when the director was asked about how he felt about meeting Spielberg, he literally said, I've met God. There's nothing else to do now. Like, I'm done. This is it. Like, he said this was his idol of his life. And to have his idol say these things to him, he said, it's like, he said, look, Shah, he said, I met God. I mean, how fucking cool. I mean, honestly, isn't that just like the kind of story you want to hear about?
Yeah, the more you guys talk about this Godzilla movie, the more I want to see it. So I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes out, because the curiosity level is high now, dude. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. So
yeah, and Spielberg blessing it and saying, "I saw your movie." There's a picture of the director whose name I apologize. I really wish I could pronounce it properly. Somebody want to give this guy's name a shot? I just want to give it a shot.
Takashi Yamazaki.
Takashi Yamazaki. There's a. By the way, Shah. Every
time
hard,
dude. Come on.
Well, my glasses are filthy, dude. I can't see my glasses. My glasses are dirty. Takashi Yamakaze, is that correct?
Yamazaki.
Okay, it's very small print. One thing I like about this guy is every time he's in public, what does he have in his hand, Bisho? Every time he goes somewhere where he's going to be shot or seen?
The Godzilla doll.
Yeah.
More marketing.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, they said something funny to this guy. They asked him, do you want to work with Hollywood stars? Because this guy's like being touted. And he goes, of course I would love. He goes, if any of the American stars want to work for a fifth of their budget, call me. Shah, you think this guy might land like a horror movie, like a property or something? Like, maybe we got to give this guy a horror property.
I don't know about a horror property, but I think he's going to get some big ass movies in the States. They're going to, you watch, man. They're going to give him some big movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shout out to Wheelie and the TITY
They'll
bunch.
they'll find a way to make him a citizen in the next couple years, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal, right? I mean whether it's Takashi Miike or Park Chan Woo, which we'll get to in a little bit, is you want that stateside recognition, right, Bisho? I mean clearly he got it. He made a fucking hit movie that's nominated for an Academy Award.
And all these movies that are coming out this year, from Stars and Scorsese and everything.
Coppola soon.
Yeah, Coppola. Here's this guy that just wedged right in and made a name for himself. And the rumor online, I don't know if you guys heard this, is that he may be offered a Star Wars movie in the future.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I thought I read a story where him and his crew screened one of the Star Wars movies, or he went to the Lucasfilm Ranch.
Yeah, he did go to Lucasfilm. Yeah, he went to the ranch. Yeah,
and when he was there, he said he would love to do one, and I thought he was received pretty well. So that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Shah, when this Steelbook comes out, man, you got to grab it.
No, I definitely will. It's probably a Walmart exclusive now. Best Buy cut out all the physical media. So
I know. Yeah.
Everything is
very
Walmart.
Sad. Like all the empty shelves. It's kind of
done. More frigid.
Really almost dystopian future seeing the empty Best Buy shelves. I mean, I get TVs from there. I used to get TVs from there, and then I get them from Target because they're just way cheaper, and that's just as good. But speaking of Miche, we're going to save that for the show. We want to get the Park Chan Woo trailer in our Patreon show. But interesting story this week that came out, I guess earlier in the week. A lot of the horror podcasts and things like that were discussing Friday the 13th because it's officially now 15 years since that property had a theatrical release in the reboot, which most of us have coalesced around saying we thought was okay, decent, good, but that was it. It just stopped. It made money. It was decently received, and it's gone. And a lot of people are speculating what the fuck is going on with a theatrical release of the Friday the 13th franchise. Now, obviously, we have to pivot to the prequel that's coming, I believe, to Hulu. No, it's Peacock. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's Peacock. That's the Crystal Lake series B show is coming to Peacock. But we're talking about theatrical releases. And in comparatively speaking, even its contemporaries, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, you even break it down, you go Child's Play, you go Candyman, even direct-to-video, things like Hellraiser, Predator, all have had Aliens. All of these things have happened in the 15 years since they had a Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th film. And by the way, I didn't know the movie did well, and I saw it in theaters, and I still didn't know that the movie did well. Bisha, what did this? Apparently, this did very well in theaters.
It did. The sequels to it, let's see, earned just shy of 108 million worldwide against a budget of less than 10 million.
So
maybe that was
Friday...
Texas Chainsaw.
No, that's Chainsaw. We're talking about the Friday the 13th, 2009.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But I do know that it did so well they were going to make a follow-up, and then it languished in development hell for a while. Let me find that box office.
And Shah, we've talked about this. We actually thought it was pretty good, right? I mean, it holds up pretty good.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to revisit it a couple weeks ago. So it's funny. It's exactly 15 years because I was actually going to watch it like literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, me too.
It's a pretty good movie. I saw it at the theater. I haven't seen it
too.
Since.
I saw it in the theater, and I saw it once on video, I think.
Yeah. It was a very enjoyable experience at the theater, though. Like I thought it was pretty good. Jason looked terrifying. He was fucking big.
Yeah, scary looking.
Pretty violent.
And, one thing I didn't like about it, I don't know if you guys remember this. I'll ask you, B. I thought it was a little too dark. Like I feel like this was one of those. I'd like it to be a little better lit. I get it for effects, but it was dark as fuck. If I remember, dark not in content, dark as far as lighting.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that I think they were trying to match what Texas Chainsaw did a couple years before that, which is what kicked off all these reboots during that
Didn't
time.
Hate that either, really.
No, okay. 92 million was its box office on a budget of 19.
Wow, and that's guys. This is 15 years ago. 92 million. I mean, you adjust that for inflation, Bisha. What are you looking at? Like 130, 140 at the box office?
Probably,
right? Because you also inflation has been astronomical since then. I mean, comparatively speaking, movies were probably like 40-50% of what they are now to go see a film in the theaters 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Easily, right?
Yeah, probably close to that. I thought it was really good. I know a lot of people don't like it. I put something up on Twitter about it, and Sam from Red River said that he likes the
It's
first
his birthday
15
today,
minutes.
Sam Hoyos, our friend.
Oh, happy birthday, Sam.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy.
Yeah. And you were just on his show a few days ago.
I did. I just did Red River. I
Yeah.
talked about a lot of stuff there.
Very good. But I think a lot of people shared the sentiment you did where, people thought it was okay or they liked the first part of it where they had a really intense opening. But, yeah, it was really dark. Some parts hard to see. I watched it again the other night while I was getting some work done.
Oh, you did? Yeah, me and Shah have to rewatch this. I didn't know you watched it that recently.
I think it holds up, man. Dude, Derek Mears' Jason is up there. He was
amazing. Also, guys, isn't Derek Mears one of the big dudes from the Hills Have Eyes reboot as well? I'm almost positive he is.
He might be. He was supposed to be Swamp Thing in the show.
Let's see
that
if
got
he
canceled.
is. He's Hatchet.
He looks like the Swamp Thing. He has the facial features.
Yeah, I think I'm right.
Hills Have
Eyes 2. Is he in the Hills Have Eyes 1? He's in Dead Snow, guys? That's interesting. Maybe he's not. I don't know. He's a big dude, though. Ninja Turtles. Wow, what a cool little gigs he's got here. He's got some good stuff. Swamp Thing. Wow. Okay. Yeah, maybe he wasn't. I could have sworn he was in the first one. Yeah, I need to revisit those Hills of Eyes movies. Those are pretty damn good. That first one's pretty damn good. Second one's okay. It's a little labored, but
I really like those.
I love the first one. I love the first
remakes. Like those they hold up, man.
They do. I think because they don't skimp on the goriness. I think because they go there. Like in terms of violence. Shah, what do you think? I mean, why do you think we don't have a Friday the 13th? I mean, I get that we're getting the TV prequel. That's not even Jason Voorhees. I'm talking about a theatrical or even a direct-to-video, like a lot of its peers in the horror worlds that are having resurgences. What is like at Friday the 13th is probably number 1 or number 2. I mean, we've had 2 reboots of Halloween since this fucking movie came out.
Yeah, it's got to be rights issues. I can't think of anything else. Like it has to be because I mean, of course they're gonna want to make money. They have no pride in fucking their movies, man. There's already like 12 of them. They'll do another fucking 12 if they can make money off of it. Look at Saw. Look at Halloween. Look at Texas Chainsaw. They just announced another one coming on Netflix soon.
Another one, yeah.
So, Hellraiser. Everything has been rebooted. So if they can, I think they would. I think there has to be probably some kind of battle over the rights, I guess. Because I know several companies own the movies.
Yeah, I mean, B-Show, what's Sean S. Cunningham's ownership at this point?
It's complicated. He's pretty much the producer, the executive who is in charge of it. But what has held it up?
Michael Bay have the rights now?
No. I'm not sure who has the rights now because what happened, I'll be really quick with this. I know I can be long-winded. Victor Miller, who wrote the screenplay for the first one, was hired in such a way to where after so many years, there was some law that changed where the way he was commissioned to do it, he could apply to get the rights over his story. Huh. So about 5 years ago, they were close to doing a new movie. It was about the time they put the video game out with Gun Media? But they were getting ready to do something, and he filed some sort of injunction represented by all people of Shelley from Part 3, who gives Jason the mask, the goofy curly-haired kid. He's an attorney. And they won, so now he gets to have final say of like what they do over the original concept. But even though it doesn't have Jason in it, they can't call it Friday the 13th and set it at Crystal Lake.
Hence Crystal Lake, okay.
Yeah, so he has to give the papal blessing, which he's on board with, which is why the series got greenlit so far. Well, no, I mean everything in the United States.
So let me ask you guys a question, and then we'll move on from this. But I am curious because it is. I mean, it might be the franchise. I mean, I don't. I mean, we could debate this for 100 years, but it might be the thing, right? What do you think needs to be in the reboot, Shah? And I'll ask you the same question, B. In order for this to be successful and avoid the trappings of other of its predecessors, whether you argue the Halloween franchise fell off, or unlike say like a Chucky, which is, by the way. Chucky is now one of the most viewed things in the history of the USA Network, by the way. The Chucky 3, I think, season 3 premiere. So we're all sleeping on that, which we probably should be picking up on. But Shah, what do you think it needs to have in order for this to be successful, to go back to theaters?
I honestly think Friday the 13th is probably one of the easiest properties to reboot. And there's several reasons for that. One, just every movie is the same, really. For the most part, it's just teenagers getting killed in the woods. You don't have to be overly complicated with the plot. It can just be another Friday the 13th movie that's fun, right? Secondly, a lot of movies, there's more to complain about because you look at Leatherface, people are going to bitch about, oh, the Leatherface mask looks like shit. The Halloween masks look like shit. Pinhead, you can change the looks and people can judge the movie just based off whether or not they like the villain and how he looks. With Jason, it's always going to look the same, really. It's hard to, fuck up a hockey mask. You know what I mean? So I think it has a way better
degrees of size of Jason, right? Like,
I think you have a much better shot at rebooting that than any other property, really. Just for that simple reason, the hockey mask is just easy.
And Bisha, what do you want to see in the reboot? Like, what do you think needs to make it successful to avoid some of this other stuff to avoid the criticisms, essentially, which is difficult to navigate, I know. But if you were making it, what do you think? Do we go back to the roots? Let's just go back to the fucking roots of it with the mom and the kid, modernize it. Do we keep it in the 80s and then jump 20 years? I just don't know.
I probably would. I mean, I think the strength of Friday the 13th over most of those other franchises is they knew what worked and they fucking rode it into the ground.
Yeah.
That's what they did. And then they took a break for a while and now it's come back with the reboot, and unfortunately it's taken a while. But it doesn't even have to be a summer camp. It doesn't have to be the same vein. It can still be the same stuff. Teenagers in the woods, not paying attention, and here's this maniac. Womp Stomp Films, I know I've talked about this before, has a trilogy of films. The first one's called Never Hike Alone.
Yeah.
And the sequel to that one that just came out this summer or this fall is really, really good. Some of the acting's kind of, amateurish, but great kills, great concepts. And I think people they want to see that. It's a ritualistic, urban legend type storytelling to where you can even fuck with it and do different things. And it's like, well, no, this is just other people retelling the story and you can get away with it like that. But it's a killer in the woods, hockey mask, mama drama. He's going to get you. You can't get away from him. Don't go in his area. And I think as long as you keep
creative kills for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Creative kills.
As long as you follow,
really.
Yeah, no jump scares. I mean, that's really, I think, what 2009 got away from, because some of the movies in the the New Line days kind of got cheesy and over the top. So, I mean, stick with what works. Don't oversaturate, and I think people will be happy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. Look, it's ready to go. The appetite is there, for sure. The video game proved that, and also, the fact that there's all these stories this week's like 15 years without a Friday the 13th, at a time when horror is very popular. It just is. Horror is insanely popular. I was just curious about that to see where that lands. Anyway, we have a couple of little small things we want to get to because we have a very active Patreon show. Some crazy shit we're going to talk about in there, and we look at some insane trailers, including the Joker trailer, the Joker Harley Quinn trailer, which we're excited to talk about there. Christian Bale was announced that he will be playing the Frankenstein monster in the Frankenstein movie. Shah, I know you're excited about that. We've been talking about this Frankenstein movie that's coming out, I think, in 2025, and the other properties were associated with it. But Christian Bale is Frankenstein, Shah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, man. Is he big enough to portray Frankenstein? Frankenstein's a big dude. Like, he's, know?
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if I can see it, but
well, we know he can get in shape, but Frankenstein doesn't need to be in shape.
Right, exactly.
We don't want a CrossFit Frankenstein. It doesn't seem to work, but
yeah, exactly.
Like, I was thinking for Friday the 13th, they should do it at a fat camp with a CrossFit Jason. I think that would be fun. That would be amazing. Like, everybody's fat, like they're just fat, and like Jason's barely breaking a sweat. Like, he runs in front of the kid and then runs back towards him because he's got to get his steps in. So, Shah, you're worried that his physical size. He's like 6'1". He's a sizable dude.
Yeah, I know, but Frankenstein is almost like larger than life. Like, that's a big fucking dude, man. The way he's portrayed in comic books and magazine covers and stuff. Like, whenever you see Frankenstein illustrated next to a Dracula or Wolverine, he's gigantic,
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna look. Christian Bale's a method actor. He gets into shit. Be
Oh
sure.
yeah,
What do
he
you
can
think?
definitely pull it off as far as the acting. I just mean the natural
The look.
shape.
You're worried
Yeah,
about the look, not the
yeah. He
performance.
might not have the build. You know.
Okay, Bisho, what do you think? I think he's gonna put on a dick ton of weight. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I could see like physically, aesthetically, him looking fine, except for the size. And Shah's right. Not to be a nerd, but in the book, he Dr. Frankenstein purposely makes him big so it's easier to work on and stitch up
Yeah,
body parts and veins and stuff. So like even into the DNA of what the creature was, it was this big giant monster. Yeah, Christian Bale, performance wise, I'm good with it. Appearance wise, I'm not so on board yet.
yeah. I'm curious to see what that first look is gonna be. I want to, Shah. I want to see the square head and the bolts in the neck. I'm telling you that right fucking now.
Honestly, yo, they might CGI it. I mean,
No, I don't think
they
so.
might. They might make
No,
him big.
That would look
no,
terrible.
no. This is Del Toro, right? He's not gonna do that.
He
I don't
might. I mean, look at Pan's Labyrinth. There was a lot of CGI.
Yeah, if that was like creatures with eyes in their fucking
Yeah.
hands and shit.
Yeah.
There was
And a
some
lot of that
there's
was
great
actually
practical
practical.
effects. He uses great practical effects.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, yeah.
He's a big practical guy. We know that. His whole house, we went to his house. It's literally practical effects in his whole real house. I'm excited for it though. I think this could be an interesting thing. That first look is going to be a big deal though, guys. Don't you think that first reveal is going to be something?
See why it's easier for Jason to be rebooted?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry
Hockey
about
mask
that.
and overalls, man.
Yeah, you just get one big dude that doesn't have
Yeah.
to act much. He just
Yeah.
has to run around and say
I
nothing.
do like the CrossFit Jason though. Like you see him like curling on the tree before he he ties a dead corpse to his waist, right? And then starts doing pull-ups on the tree. But I like
He
Jason.
kills the
in the
fattest kid at camp and ties it around his
I
neck
like
to do
Jason
the
in the
pull-ups.
fat
Yeah.
camp. I think I don't know why maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Yeah, joking
Uh,
aside from like the CrossFit part, that would be hilarious if Jason
would
had a
be.
fat camp.
Jason at a fat camp. Hey, a couple other little things. We just got two other little things. Then we got to do an action-packed Patreon. There is a rumor going around in the new James Gunn DC universe that Darren Aronovsky, just a prolific director and Brooklyn native in the house, is being eyed to do a Plastic Man movie. Now, most people's impression of Plastic Man, there was a goofy cartoon in the 80s. It was very trippy. He had a fat guy friend named Hula Hula that he hung around with and he solved crimes. But in the comic book lore, especially when it comes to the Justice League, Plastic Man is insane. Like his brain doesn't work normal. Even in the Dark Knight Returns, Plastic Man is put in an asylum in like an egg. And then when he gets out, he fights with Elongated Man. If this Darren Aronofsky doing this is going to be a dark, fucked up movie. Shah, what do you think? Aronofsky doing a comic movie, but doing a fucked up, dark property comic movie.
If there's a comic movie I would watch, it's this one, man. I've always loved that character, even though I don't know anything about it. But just the images growing up, I would see it in comic books and stuff, and I was always gravitating towards that character. I didn't know anything about the character, but one of my favorite directors doing that movie, I'll give this a solid shot.
Yeah, and he is like a mentally disturbed. They even have him in later versions of the Justice League where he's batshit crazy. Like he's like a Jim Carrey, like a mask 24/7, but he could shape into anything, like any fucking thing. Bisho, I mean, this could be James Gunn producing it, Darren Aronofsky directing it. You get a crazy ass motherfucker playing the role, making it look good. This could be a big deal.
This is the stuff I want to see from Marvel and DC. Like we talked earlier about, what is it, Sons of Midnight?
Midnight Suns, yeah. It's
Midnight Suns, like that stuff, or
demonic,
the dark.
Yeah.
Was there like a Dark Avengers? Or
Yeah,
something
they have a Justice League Dark. It's actually pretty cool. It's Constantine, it's Swamp Thing, it's Dead Man. Like,
Yes.
it's all these fucked up people.
And they were
Zatanna.
rumored to be doing that as a movie a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
they
and it
did
never
they
materialized.
did a cartoon movie. It's pretty cool. All of them are in it, but they want to do a live version, like a R version, like Murder Mystery, Justice League Dark, of all the dark characters.
No, this is the type of shit I want to see. Like, I don't know dick about Blue Beetle, probably great. I don't know dick about like Madam Web. I just know the old lady from the cartoon. Don't know anything about that. I want to see like interesting, different takes type of shit on this, not just the same rehash from Marvel.
Yeah, and by the way, Shah, Aronofsky at this point could probably do whatever the fuck he wants. So if he does do this, this is going to be something because he probably wrote it. If he does do it, he's going to write it because he doesn't do other people's shit. We got to remember that. He writes his own shit. I mean, this guy writing like maybe an R-rated, dark character DC movie. This could be a Joker-esque type circumstance we're in here.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Now that I think about it, man, I'm really shocked that Aronofsky took on this is so weird.
Yeah, it's a rumor. It's not official, but it's in talks.
Okay.
And yeah, but they
He's
went
the
with it.
last guy, dude. He does serious movies that are
but
like
James Gunn running the show. You got to remember, James Gunn is the guy. Like, he is in charge of all of this now.
yeah.
And he's got
That's
a lot
another
of
guy. That's another guy similar to Sam Raimi that came from horror and just kind of got into the
indie, like dark. Yeah, look, we know Aronofsky can go dark, Shah. So
Oh yeah.
he's not going to shy away from darkness. Lastly, A24. Here we go. Spike Lee and Denzel just signed on to do a new film for A24. Big fucking deal there. One of the best living actors in the world in Denzel, who I think is just brilliant in everything he fucking does. He's getting older, but Denzel is still the man. Shah, here we go. This is another high-profile A24 film with big names attached to it, big director, and a big star. Academy Award winners.
Yeah, I didn't see the first collaboration between Denzel and A24. Have you ever seen it? Macbeth?
No, because it was an Apple exclusive.
Yeah, I've never seen that because they never released it on
I love
physical.
Macbeth too. Macbeth is my favorite Shakespeare play, and
I wanted to see it just because I was like, "Holy shit!"
hard.
Like,
Yes, apparently it's hard as balls.
yeah, Denzel doing that. That's I don't know.
So fucking, he's amazing.
So I'm excited, man. I love fucking Spike Lee. Like, he's done some fucking classics. Dude. Even
for sure.
Crooklyn is slept on. I feel like
Crooklyn's okay.
Do the Right Thing. Everybody talks about, like, Do the Right Thing. I think is
well,
probably
it's a seminal work.
I mean, I would say it's a fucking masterpiece.
X,
dude.
X is brilliant. Malcolm X, the Malcolm X movie, I could watch 100 times. I love that movie.
I can't rewatch it really. It's too long, and it's a great movie.
I've seen it so many times.
But as far as what I would rewatch, it would definitely have to be Do the Right Thing. Like, that movie.
I've seen both probably equal amounts of time. Very different films, clearly, but
yeah, for sure.
But Denzel is, I mean, one of the maybe 5 best living actors in the world. B-Show, this is probably going to be a big fucking deal.
I think so. Spike Lee, like you guys said, has his track record. Denzel Washington is still a very, very heavy hitter when it comes to Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, he's a king of Hollywood.
I don't know if I've seen any bad movies with Denzel Washington, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I watched Flight recently again. It was on cable, and I was like, Denzel's a cokehead, a pilot. It's like, did you guys ever see it? He's just so fucking believable all the time. I don't know how he does this shit. Shah, what's your favorite Denzel role? Training Day?
Yeah, I'd probably say
X and then Glory. Even though
John Q was one of the saddest movies I've ever seen.
It's a bummer movie.
That movie I could only watch once. Oh man, I watched that as a kid too, and it fucking made me cry. That movie is fucking.
It's a bummer movie. I think he's just absolutely brilliant. And I also just recently rewatched that drug dealer movie there that he did with Ridley Scott. I always forget the name of it. Somebody G-check me there. B-Show, what's your favorite Denzel role? I mean, we're not even scratching the surface with his legendary fucking 30-year plus career.
Possibly, what's one you guys, Training Day?
Yeah.
And I think the reason is when I was a kid, I watched Remember the Titans, and I'd seen him in some other stuff. But like, he came off as such this wholesome fucking, great guy, dad figure. And then the next thing I see him in, he's this piece of shit, corrupt cop, drug dealer. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So
American Gangster. Sorry. Thank you. Somebody.
Yeah. Book of Eli is good too.
Book of Eli, I like. That's one of the Hughes brothers directed that. That's an interesting movie. He's great. I don't know. I think this could be great. It's great for A24, getting the big rub like this. Shah, is this what you want to see from A24 at this point? You want to see if they're going to go mainstream? Do you want them to be with the best of the best?
Well, I don't mind them going mainstream. I like them, collaborating with bigger stars and all that. But I just hope they stick to the roots also. Like, give us a few movies a year that give that quote-unquote A24 vibe.
Yeah.
And then the rest can be this. I'm fine with that. But
yeah.
I still want my fucking Hereditaries, and I want Lighthouse. I want movies like that again. Men, that's A24.
I don't think they'll stop doing that. By the way, I forgot about the Equalizer franchise, which I think is just as good as the John Wick franchise. Fences is is a brilliant play. He's great in the film adaptation there. He does the James Earl Jones role. As a theater child, I'm very familiar with Fences. Denzel's career is, you're talking about, he's a legend. He's a fucking absolute fucking legend of an actor. And he's got such a wonderful, the Hurricane people bring it up. I like that Roman J. Israel Esquire movie. That's a dark movie. It's got a fucked up ending if you've never seen it. I've seen The Siege in movie theaters. I love that movie. I can't believe that actually kind of came to fruition in a weird way with 9/11. Antoine Fisher, Cry Freedom, Devil in the Blue Dress, The Manchurian Candidate, Fallen. Jesus. Fallen is a fucking underrated movie. You guys like Fallen? Where he fights the demon who takes over the cop in Philly, Shah? You don't know that movie?
No.
John Goodman. He's a cop in Philly who's investigating a string of murders, and they were all being taken place from a demon that's inherited people's bodies. Fucking awesome movie. This is you guys got to see it. Be sure you never seen this either. It's brilliant.
No.
Oh, dude. John Goodman's in it. He's great. Donald Sutherland's in it. I think a girl that was in Schindler's List is in it. Dude, this movie's amazing. This is a cult movie, man. Oh, Ricochet's great too. Man on Fire remake. Oh, Man on Fire is so good. Guys, you guys got to see this. It's so good. He fights the demon Azazel in modern day Philadelphia. James Gandolfini's in it. Elias Koteas, he plays the demon in the beginning.
That's what's his name from Turtles?
Elias Koteas, he's the OG Casey Jones.
Yes, thank you.
He's from the original Crash, the David Cronenberg Crash shot. Remember him from Crash? He was like the principal guy. And Ada Del Toro, he's old as fuck now, this guy. Elias Koteas.
He was also in that Zodiac movie with...
he's in a lot of movies. He's in a dick ton of movies.
Old fat cop.
Great actor. He's a fucking great actor. By the way, he was also in Some Kind of Wonderful. He was in John Hughes movie. But guys, we have a shit ton to get to on Patreon, so we're gonna wrap it up here. We want to thank everybody for chilling in the chat. Let's plug our pals.
One thing we didn't get to, John.
What?
We completely blew by it. The Madam Web controversy.
Well, I don't know if that's confirmed.
Okay, sorry.
I'm hearing that's not official. Some guy may
right.
or may not have jerked off at Madam Web to Sydney Sweeney's boobs, which is weird because it's the only movie you don't see her boobs in. I don't know what that's about, but I was not like some people are saying it's bullshit. I couldn't confirm it. That's why I didn't want to talk about it.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
I get G-checked way too much after these shows sometimes. Let's plug our pals. Let's plug Deathmatch Outlaws, the Drew Yarsifer show, the Drew Yarsifer Experience, actually. Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast. Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle. Kevin Castle jumped in the chat at the end here. But they're back every Monday night doing their classic Monday night shows. Necromaniacs podcast, they just put a new episode out today, I believe. The Human Experience podcast, of course, Ringside is Wrestlers on YouTube. Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. The Garden of Doom, the Old Guy Metalcast, and, of course, our good friend Ronald Anderson's clothing company, funkbetty.com. MJW Games, Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. Red River Podcast, happy birthday to the wonderful Sam Hoyos. I just did his Red River show, talking a lot about my music, the last show I played, if I'll ever play again. You want to check it out. It's a really great talk. We talk about The Dentist and some other movie news. And, of course, his band Playing Dead just put out a new video. Bayou Geeks, that's Fatty316. B-Show just did that show last week. So you want to be checking that out. The High Marks Podcast and the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, of course, the Weekly Detour with our good friend Anthony Alston and his pal Teddy. And Guns and Geeks Podcast. Shah, anything happening with Planet Mondo?
No, not right now, man. I'm just trying to get my shit together right now. So any extra time I have, I'll dedicate it to YouTube in the upcoming months. But hopefully I won't get demonetized. I don't know. It's been a while.
So, but just go and subscribe to make sure that he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I got to post something, too.
Yes. Well, that would help. But we want people subscribing. B-Show Brian, anything over at the B-Show Brian channel? I know you're working on your side thing there for the Patreon this weekend.
Not right now. Probably, I keep saying it in a month. I should be slowing down here in probably 2 or 3 months, and I plan to get a few things up. So, bshowbrian.com. Go check out Fatty316, and the Bayou Geeks had a good time with him and Maximus we recorded Friday night. So that's part of the reason I didn't put something up for Patreon is because we ended up recording Friday night.
Shout out to Chris and, of course, all the pals over in the land of the Fatty 316 land. And please, guys, hit like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We appreciate all the love on the podcast. We appreciate all the Patreon love, but we'd like to get some YouTube love. That would be nice. That would be fun. There's people that cut fruit up that are killing us with views, that literally just cut strawberries all day. So we don't want to fall to that. But we thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. As always, we're jumping into a massively fun Patreon show. We're going to cover some crazy shit. And we'll see you guys next week right here at Spitball Media Podcast.